Okay, so today we are going to do the honeybee, the Thankful Honeybee sheet out of the Wildwood Wonder Coloring Book. And this is our little worker bee who has gone out to gather honey, and she is so thankful for all of the clover that she has found outside. So, got our hexagon here, and we're going to color the middle, and these are the colors I think I'm going to use. So, we'll see as I go. And just kind of have those near you so you can get started. And I just have my different brands like I've told you. These gold ones here, real life art problem right here. So the dog ate every single one of my gold color pencils. Every single one. It didn't matter what brand. It didn't matter what they cost. So sitting here with Prismacolor, Faber-Castell, Crayola, a Swiss brand. I think one of them's a Sargent. And no, the Crayola she didn't bite. Yeah, that's right. So the one that I liked the least, of course, did not get eaten. But I'm going to show you the difference. Crayola. You see that? Okay. Crayola. And then put that down. Let's see what I got. I've got, well, this is my Sargent that got really tore up. So I can't even hardly use it. I'm going to have to sharpen it to show you what's going on it. And it's not her fault. I mean, it is her fault. I mean, she shouldn't have been eating my pencils. But I did leave them like right at the edge of the table. And I guess she smelt money and was like, oh, this is a $2 pencil. This is a $1.50 pencil. All right. So here is a Sargent color. So I'm going to put that. That's going to be number 2. And you can see it's like dark. I mean, it's not even, like it's almost silver looking. And then Prismacolor. So this is the most expensive out of all of them. And it's not terrible, but it's not that pure like gold I want to see. So kind of like, I guess I'm thinking about my paintings. Like I want it to be a nicer color. So Faber-Castell. I finally settled on the Faber-Castell. Got it next. And of course, it's the one I really like. And I can't even find the other half of it. So this is all I got left. Alright, and you can see it's just, that's that pretty gold. That's what I call that royal gold. Like that's what I think of. Kings and queens and gold and richness. So that's the one I'm using. Alright, so we're going to think about value. Think about the other tutorial. So light side, shadow side. I'm right-handed. So I'm going to highlight on the right-hand side and I'm going to shadow on the left side just because that's natural for me. And so as I'm shading, that's what I'm going to do. Right, think about your card. So if you got your card and you need it to put your hand on to keep it from smearing, have that ready. I kind of drew on mine, so probably won't use it. Alright, so let's get started. So all the bee facts that I brought to you today have been brought to you by Nature's Nate's Raw and Unfiltered Honey. I am an ambassador for that brand, and I've enjoyed using Nature's Nate's for the past 3 years. So as an educator, I was introduced to Nature's Nate's and have gotten some pretty cool lesson plans and different educational tools to introduce students to art, because nature and art kind of go hand in hand. So there's several different things that I can introduce to people. All right, you can find Nature's Nate's in your local grocery store, and it is great for access if you don't have somebody local or a way to get local honey that comes from a local beekeeper. So it's raw, it's unfiltered, it's great for kids, especially their little snack packs. So you can put those in a lunchbox and they can just snap the top off of it and have a good healthy snack instead of just candy. So that's something you need to look in. I'm going to put a link below that will take you to their website and you can see how they care for their bees and all their cool stuff. So all of their facts or all the facts that you're going to hear today actually come from their website, from the lesson plans that I was sent. So you're probably wondering, why don't I have beehives? Well, part of that was several years ago, my second child went through an ant bed and we had to rush her to the emergency room because she had such a reaction. And they at the time weren't sure if it was because of the ant bite or it was because how many that she ended up having just all over her body and her face. And it was a scary time, and we had to go through all that. So for many years, we've just kind of watched her and made sure that, she's able to handle a bee sting, because our plan was, that was one of the first things we wanted on our homestead, was to actually have beehives. But when that happened, we're like, that doesn't need to be a priority. We need to watch out. Well, since then, she's been stung, and we have found out that it is not because of the bee. So we are looking to get beehives put on our property. We do have a local guy that can set us up with a whole queen and bees and boxes, and I know another guy who can set me up with a observation box, which I really want, where we can look in and see what they're doing. I think that's a great educational tool, and if you haven't watched the YouTube channel yet or any of these, I'm huge into learning and education, and so and of course visual examples. So that would be a really awesome thing if we could actually look inside the hive and observe what the bees are doing. So if you would like to help us kind of reach our beehive goal, you can definitely go to the website, and we have several bee different items. I have sketchbooks there, I have coloring books, I have greeting cards, I have prints. And from what I'm going to do is every time any bee items are bought, then I'm going to put a percentage of that up into a special fund that is just for saving our beehive. So if you would like to, help the Wildwood Wonder Homestead out and help us to get that, to use that educational tool in the future, and to help us get local honey on our place, I would greatly appreciate that. All right, let's get into those bee facts. So there are different types of bees, and each one of them has a different job. So the queen bee, well, her job is to make baby bees. And they can sting many times. So they can actually sting over and over. She is compared to being the mom of the hive. Okay, so our next bee is the worker bee. And the worker bee has multiple jobs. They're always female, and so their jobs include guarding the hive, cleaning the hive, and feeding the baby bees. And then our next bee is the drone bee. They are always males. They mate with the queen bee, and they are actually wide body, where the other two kind of are, slender. They have a wide body, and they don't have stingers. So they're not going to help us out very much there, are they? All right, so let's see other facts that I thought were pretty cool. And one of those is the hexagon. So I've actually watched several things and listened to several things how hexagons show up in nature. And the question is why? Well, for the bees, scientists look for patterns and order when making observations in the world. So we can make the observation that honeybees use the same shape, a hexagon, to make their honeycomb. Every cell in Every cell in a honeycomb is a hexagon, and it turns out that bees are excellent builders, and they build hexagons because the hexagon is a great shape for building honeycomb. Bees like to build perfect hexagons with all 6 sides having equal lengths in nature. They don't have rulers, guys. They don't have little levels and tools to make this. I mean, they're doing this on their own. That's pretty cool. So hexagons can be next to each other without having empty space between them. The hexagon cells are the ideal shape for bees to store honey and raise their young in. That's pretty cool, guys. So how do bees find all of that nectar and tell their friends about it? Well, bees turn nectar into honey, and nectar comes from flowers. And forager bees go out and find where the best nectar is located, and then tell the other bees where to find it by using what's called the waggle dance. So that sounds pretty cool. Waggle, waggle. All right, so how do they know where to get it? Just by a dance, right? So when a forager finds great flowers and she wants to tell the other bees about those flowers, then she will come back to the hive and do a waggle dance. How long the bee dances tells and the direction that she waggles her body tells the other bees which direction they need to fly and how far they have to fly in order to find the flowers. So that's pretty cool. So bees are a major part of our world because they pollinate approximately 30% of our food crops and 90% of wild plants, okay, around the world. So that's pretty cool, right? So how can you help those in your garden or, on your homestead? Well, first we can put away the sprays, right, guys? So we don't need any toxic sprays going around that are going to kill our bees. There are different alternatives. There are organic and natural sprays that you can use, and you need to research those and find out how to properly use them so that you're not harming our pollinators and our friendly bugs, right? So we have beneficial bugs that we need to keep in our garden because they are our best friends, okay? You can also plant natural plant alternatives like garlic, onion or salt spray, soap, orange citrus oils, you could do chili peppers. There's all mint. There's different things that can keep pests away. So just kind of figure out what your pest problem is, research that, and figure out what you can use and what you can plant around there to help you out, okay? Another thing is to just plant bee-friendly flowers around, okay? So local native plants are going to be your best bet, and so you can get with your local nature center or wildlife extension, and they can kind of lead you in the right direction or show you that there's going to be a class on native plants, and that's always really cool. And you can get ideas of what plants are in your area. So I live in Northeast Mississippi, so I need plants that are for Northeast Mississippi, okay? So another thing is sometimes just let the yard kind of go. You don't have to mow it every couple of days. And we actually try to stretch our mowing as long as we can to let those spring flowers come in and to let those pollinators get started, because a lot of times those spring flowers are the only thing that they have out to help, feed them. So let those go a little while. Enjoy them. They're beautiful. You'll be amazed at what pops up. Or you can just have your own little section of wildflowers, a little path. Just leave a little square there that you just let go wild and see what happens. I think you would be, really amazed to see what all comes in. Help protect your habitat, okay? So there's different things that you can get involved in, such as beekeeping. So that's what we want to do in the future because we want to help the bee population. We need them on our homestead. We need them flowering in our orchards and our gardens, so we know that they're important. And so get with, local people and see about your bee population and what you can do to help them and how you can help right now. Maybe you can't have beehives, but maybe you can do something else. So check that out. And providing oases, like we said, with those local flowers, not cutting the yard, you're providing them a space to be, and so that's helping them. If you don't have a water source on your area, you can come up with different water stations for the bees to go to as well. Honeybees are not the only bees out there, guys. So to create pollinator spaces, you may have seen the different leaf cutter bees or mason bees, and you can create little houses for them that are really cute, and you can put them around your wildflowers or in different areas, and they come in different colors and sizes. You can make your own, and those other pollinators and bugs and bees will go in there as well. So flies are pollinators too. I know that seems kind of crazy, but they are. Another way that you can help is just educate children on the importance of bees, and that when you see a bee, you don't have to just sit there and kill it. So that's a major thing, I think, is educating the younger generations to say, look, this is okay. That dandelion there, you don't have to pull that. That's not a requirement, and it's not a bad plant. So let's learn about the dandelion. Let's learn why it's important for the bees, okay? And just make good choices. So another thing is just make good choices for yourself and figure out, how can I create an environment that I love and bees love too. So those are just some ideas on different things that you can help in your garden, on your homestead, in your space. And it doesn't matter if you have a balcony, you still have an environment where you can help pollinators and you can help the bees. All you have to have is the appropriate flowers that can grow on your balcony, and are welcoming to the bees. So keep that in mind as you plan out a balcony garden or your patio garden or anything like that. So if you have watched any of the videos I have on our patio, on the new patio garden with all the beds and stuff, you know that I have ornamentals in there too. I have a lot of native plants up there. Just today when I went out, I had hummingbirds on my native pink plant that I put on the porch, and I had no idea that they even liked it, but I scared off 2 of them. So, but I hope that's some good information, and now I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So there are your bee facts, and we're going to speed the rest of the coloring tutorial up. And so I've tried to show up close all the different colors that I'm using, so definitely hit rewind and go back. If you missed that, you can stop. You color along with me. So if you were a part of the VIP list, okay, that's on the website, so if you signed up for the emails and you actually got what did we end up? We ended up with 8 different coloring pages that I actually emailed for free. So during the shutdown, I was offering those for a month for 4 weeks straight, and so all of you, and I've actually gone through those first, so that's what I'm coloring through. Just follow along, and that's a repeatable download. So if you were on that list and you got it sent to you, you should be able to print it off again, and you can try it this way. So all right, well, thanks for joining me, and continue to watch through because you are fixing to see this bee start to take shape and look 3D. Okay guys, so here is the finished thing. So as you can see up close, we have our values, so our darker and light values, and the bee body, even our arms. I mean, look at that. So, and across, so there you go. And you're just telling the viewer, hey, this is the darker side, okay? And so all the other stuff is going to be lighter, and we're going to have darker on the left side. And the arms, so you want the arms to look like they're smooth, right? Okay, and not fuzzy. So the bee body is going to be fuzzy. The arms are going to be smooth because and eyes, because you want them to look like they're almost like this leathery looking stuff. So think of like a fake leather and the way it feels. Yeah, so that's what we're looking for there. And then the wings, of course, they ended up being, you gotta have those shadows. You gotta make it look like it's see-through and that we got all that going on. I'll show you up close. See, I do darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. So if you do that, it'll make your wings look 3D, and there you go. So now you can hang it up. So just get you a little pin, get you a little rope or string, and hang it up on the wall and pin them up, and you can have your own little art collection. So thanks for joining me again, and stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, give me a like, share, and I'm going to keep going through the coloring pages, and you can grab one of the coloring books in my shop on the website and color along with me. All right, thanks guys.